and welcome to the Magenta Show here on a Monday on Facebook TV. I'm Moira Bush, your host, and I've got a fabulous guest here today. I've just met this lady, Sue Coleman.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome, darling. All right, so if you have joined the Magenta Show for the very first time, we always like to give the audience something special. So you'll see here that there are 3 decks of cards here, color cards. And if you're drawn to number 1, 2, or 3, all we ask you to do is pop into the comments box which one you're drawn to. And at the end of the show, going to give them a little color reading. Oh, nice going, eh?
It'll be fun.
Okay, so what happened was we had another guest planned for the show, Dan. And he, unfortunately, last night, the flights totally messed him around and he got stuck somewhere in the UK. He was on his way here to then go to the States. And Dan, we're really sorry you've missed the show, but we will rebook you. And then, thankfully, a mutual friend of ours, Teresa Cruz, suggested that you come on the show. Yeah, so you've never even seen the show.
No, I haven't. Sorry.
Well, now you know all about it, girl. So just welcome, Sue, and thank you so much for coming in at the last minute and turning up so we could have a show today. You're a businesswoman, and the subject that we're going to talk about today is MLMs, multi-level marketing. That's what you're involved in, and I think as an audience interaction, we'd like to ask the audience today, what is your experience with MLMs, multi-level marketing? Ask questions, please. Michael will point them out to us so that we can have a conversation. So let's just say hello to who's joined us here. Carolyn Moss has joined us. Juliet Francis. Hello, Juliet's fast becoming a regular. She's fabulous. Aurelia, she is our most faithful audience. She's in Denmark, a beautiful artist. She always watches us. Hello, Aurelia, darling. Cheryl Carey. Hello, Cheryl. She's Canadian. Joanna Breeze, Australia. Wow, this is amazing. Melissa from South Africa. Melissa Jolly is the lady who actually is the founder and makes the color bottles. So
wow.
She's joined us from South Africa. Okay, fabulous. And Joanna Burke has joined us. Oh, this is amazing. Renee. Okay, right. Fabulous. So today, please, if you share, there's a very special gift from our guest Sue today. And if you share the show, you'll be put into a draw to win and get her beautiful prize. Okay. So today, multi-level marketing is the conversation. Share to get an audience prize. Remember to put 1, 2, or 3, whichever choice you are, into the comments box so we can see what you've picked. And at the end of the show, we're going to reveal to you. That's about the show. We can actually say goodbye now. Okay, so Sue and I were chatting about colors because this is new for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know anything about colors. All right. Why the Magenta Show? All right. So that's the color magenta, and it's made up of 2 colors, red and violet. And violet is our seat of our spirituality. It is where we want to be of service, want to make a difference on the planet. And red says, I have to go out and make money. I have to be a human. I have to do material things. I have to survive. Mm-hmm. And we were upstairs. Sue and I was talking about the millennials. Oh, boy.
They're a different breed.
They're a different breed. So the way you market and sell and run your businesses now has to be in a magenta way. They're not just interested in money. They're also interested in the welfare of the planet and people and humanity. Yeah. So that humanitarian spiritual connection coming in with a red. So Sue, what happens is if you mix those 2 colors, they make that color magenta. That's magenta. And that's why it's a Magenta Show, because it's like a bridge. It says we are trying to bridge and find a way to appeal to these millennials or to appeal to anybody who wants to be in the red world but also wants to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I'm hoping you enjoyed that.
Yes, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, and it's true. I mean, millennials these days just have a social conscience. They really do want to make a difference. Yeah, they really do.
Yeah. So you're involved. First of all, your background is you're a real estate agent, right?
Yeah, I was in real estate for 26 years.
Yeah, and you gave it up to do a multi-level marketing business.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't what I planned. I really just, when the company was introduced to me, I loved the product, so I was using it, saw the difference. Yeah. And when somebody initially suggested that I do this, I kind of went, well, no, I do real estate. No, that's not for me. Yeah. And they sort of said, take a look. It's a little different to what you think. And because I really did have a listening for what I thought MLM was.
Yeah.
And then,
I call her what it is. It was a judgment, girl. We have many judgments on MLM companies, and please, if you guys have had experience with MLMs, we'd like you to ask questions or pop in your experiences in the comments box. So you please ask Sue and I questions about it, because we certainly know we've had judgments on MLMs.
Yeah. So it was like, oh no, not one of those things. So I said to my husband, take a look, because you're an engineer, you pick it apart. Yeah. So he had a look and he said, I think you'd be crazy not to. Yeah. Like, at least have a go. Yeah. So I decided to do it just really so I would have some extra cash to, make sure my broker bills were paid, that I didn't have to worry about that. Because you never knew when commissions were coming in, no matter how good you were at real estate. It was always a bit of a sort of crapshoot when the commissions were going to land.
That's right, yeah.
So, and I just decided to look at it, and then it just sort of snowballed on me. I just realized I loved the industry, I loved the company, I loved what I was doing. Yeah. And 3.5 years ago, I walked away from real estate and said, I like having lifestyle freedom. Yeah. I like being able to choose when I work, where I work, with whom I work. Yeah.
So it's actually a good thing to start off with. What is the positive part of MLMs for you? What being in a multi-level marketing business, what is the biggest positive note for you?
For me, it's lifestyle freedom.
Lifestyle freedom, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love to travel. Anybody who knows me knows I love to travel. It's kind of like, where are you going now? But for me, that was a big thing. Yeah. But I also love working with people. Yeah. And like helping people and seeing other people succeed. And so that's a big
two
thing.
Benefits. It's about working with people because you like people, but it frees you up to travel. The thing with a lot of the new, because of technology now, you could be selling from anywhere in the world, and the products get to your clients anywhere in the world. You don't have to be home to take the calls like you did with real estate. You had to be home because
I mean,
you were tied down.
Yeah, I didn't go out of cell phone range. It was just, I was always like, I'm always there for my clients. Yeah. And I think I'm still always there for my team. But recently I was there for my team while I was on a beach in Grenada for 11 days. Yeah. And
that's... Sorry, my team, I'm not going to a beach right now. Would you like to meet me, Toronto, Ontario on the lake? At least we'll have a day there.
But I mean, I was able to...
Grenada.
Well, I was able to go there and be on vacation and still do calls with my team and help customers. And that's what I just love about it. It's just...
Okay, so let's have a look at so positives in MLM. So guys, we'd like you to a toe in 12 different companies before meeting Moira Bush. That's what Dwayne's saying. He had a toe in 12 different companies before meeting our business. Yeah, fabulous. Dwayne, if you could possibly also just share with us, what do you feel is a positive and a negative about MLMs? That would be really great, because you've had a lot of experience with this. But so we've got two positives from Sue already. It's about loving working with people, and it's about that freedom to be anywhere in the world, right? Yeah. Now, what would you say is a negative about MLMs, or the perceived negativity people have about MLMs? Because honestly, let me just backtrack here. We had a conversation upstairs about how the economy is changing, and there's a lot of people that are losing jobs in Canada at this point in time. Mm-hmm. And MLM is an option. Absolutely. It's an option to earn money and to be self-employed, right? Without having to start a business from scratch, because you just have to get to know the business and then, the product and start selling, right? Yeah. So that's another positive, right? We can't get to the negatives, can we? But what are the perceived negatives people have about these pyramids and MLM?
Well, I'll go from my personal experience. Yeah. My reluctance to get involved was I did not want somebody to feel they were being held hostage by a monthly auto ship, as they're called, or an auto delivery or convenience delivery, because that was something I had experienced myself, where I couldn't turn it off, and I was getting all this product backing up, and I didn't want it anymore. Yeah. And I couldn't get the message through to the rep or the company. I didn't want it anymore. So drastic measures, I canceled my credit card. Wow. It was the only way I could stop it. Yeah. I didn't know what else to do. And so I've heard other people have had negative experiences in that same thing. And I know when I have conversations with customers, they're like, well, I don't have to do one of those. And that's when I say to them, that's what, in my situation, what
company,
I found different with the company I represent.
Yeah. Which, by the way, is Neora, right?
Yes,
you're with Neora. It's a skincare company.
Skincare, wellness, all anti-aging products for the face, the body, and the mind.
Anti-aging products. I'm going to have to talk to you afterwards. I've been eyeing your beautiful boxes here.
Anti-aging.
But so this is a company that has a different approach. They don't do that kind of marketing, right?
Well, I mean, we give customers the best price by doing it on a monthly basis. But if they say, Sue, I don't need it, or I don't want it right now, I'm going on vacation, great, we'll go in and cancel it. I'll show you how, I'll do it for you. It's easy. The customers have access. So that's what I like. They have control.
But these companies have to give you the control, and they can't claim that it's not possible, because with technology these days, it's a click of a button, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I know my husband Paul Villard and I, we love a MLM company in the UK called New Gen Superfood. And it's something we just use for ourselves personally. We were thinking and toying with getting it out into Canada and doing it as a serious business, but we found that starting too many companies at once, and when we landed here 3.5 years ago, it was too overwhelming. So we've just focused on starting my businesses, the Color Mirrors businesses, and then and establishing that in Canada, and then we would relook at New Gen again. But what I like about that particular company, it sounds on a nice thread as to what you're involved with, Sue, is that it's ethically and morally and spiritually very, very strong. It doesn't use tactics and manipulative things to get customers to do things. It genuinely is a product that's good, and it says if you want to use it, and if you don't want to use it, you can stop. And if you want to sell it on and make it a business, there's that option as well. And it's all very millennial based energy. Does that make sense? We love our millennials.
But that's what people want these days. They want choice.
Yeah.
And a freedom to choose to yes or no, whether I want it or not. And the same with working. They want, people these days want to have control over when they work, how they work, where they work.
Exactly. And the MLMs give that to you, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So if you know somebody that's lost their job or about to lose their job, you want to share this particular episode with them to have them consider MLMs, that there are MLMs out there, companies out there that go beyond the perceived pyramid schemes that people are so afraid of. Something else you said upstairs that struck a chord with me was the pyramid schemes. Is people go MLM marketing as pyramid schemes, but corporates are pyramid schemes too. It's the same thing. Yeah. So if you have a judgment on a pyramid scheme, you can have a judgment on corporations as well, because corporations are set up from the top down. Yeah. Except in the MLM, you have the freedom to upgrade yourself and increase your salary and change your status at any time. Yeah.
Yeah. Your success is your success.
It's your hand. It's not in the hand of a department head or like when you're in a corporation.
Absolutely not.
Okay. No. Let's see. Dwayne has come back to us. Tax advantages of being a business owner when you have a job. Tax advantages of being a business owner when you have a job. Okay. Positive mentoring and personal development supplied by the company. Yeah, that's great.
Huge.
Because you get that from your company.
Oh, absolutely. That's huge. I mean, I've really haven't read as many books or done as much personal development as I have done in the 6 years I've been with Neora.
Yeah. So...
and the tax advantages, as Dwayne says, I mean, even if you have a regular job, a job, 9 to 5, having a side gig or a network marketing business gives you extra tax incentives, because you can now start to write off parts of your home, and that you need to check with your accountant on that one, but the tax advantages
it is. And Dwayne is a CPA. He actually uses color, and he does things called what's the color of your money and tax advice. Now he's actually brilliant with color mirrors. Juliet Francis says, I've tried about 6. I'm still in one. I'm definitely there for the products and the people. Oh, Juliet, that's nice. Yeah, then that's kind of what you're in it because of that as well.
My original into it was because I loved the product.
Yeah.
And that's why I considered the business. And I think that's huge.
Wow.
And I think in our company, 70% of the brand partners, people who represent the company, were customers first.
Yeah.
So
wow.
We have
That's what happened when we met Clinton Sellers at New Gen. Is we enjoyed the product, we enjoyed meeting him. Mm-hmm. And we still take it, and a couple of people that we're friends with take it, because it's just it's an all-in-one full of probiotics, prebiotics, and everything. It's an all-in-one product. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing about MLMs is you start talking about MLMs and you really love your product. You can't help but put in all the benefits of what you like about it, right?
Yes.
You want to share it because it really does work. It makes the difference.
Well, this is it. And personal development is huge in our company. It's owned by Jeff Olson. He wrote the book The Slight Edge. And
The Slight Edge.
Yeah, it's a brilliant book for anybody, for life. It's all about doing little things every day. You know, he uses the analogy that if you eat a hamburger today, it's not going to make a difference. If you eat a hamburger every day for a week, it's not going to make a difference. You do that every day for a month, it's going to make a difference.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with our business. You know, like if you just can talk to 2 people a day, today it won't make a difference, but the cumulative effect. And it's just doing the little things when nobody's looking that really add up to big things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a great book, The Slight Edge. And
The Slight Edge. Oh, fantastic. I love it. We will see if we can find a link for it and we'll pop it into the newsfeed.
Yeah.
Okay, has anybody else come up and said anything? Michael's just giving us. Juliet Francis, one of the negative is the push for sales and not allowing for you to do what works best for you. That's what I see changing now. Fabulous, yes. Yeah. This is something we were talking about pre-show, Juliet. Sue and I were talking about the millennials and how they have such a different approach.
Yeah, and it also is one of the things you look for if you're considering getting into an MLM. Is what are the minimum? What do I have to do on a monthly basis? And what Juliet's talking there is like some companies will really say you have to buy this much and you have to do this and you have to do that, and we call it garage qualifying. So you're stuffing your garage full of stuff you don't need, just to qualify to get paid.
Yes.
And so that's something really important to look at when you're looking for a good company to work with, that's not a requirement.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm proud to say we don't have that.
Yeah. I think what I can add to that with MLMs that are really good is when they have a limited range. When they've got too many products, it also becomes silly. And because I remember one of my first companies was an MLM. It was a makeup company called Riva in South Africa. And I actually did quite well with it. And I did it while my son was a baby, and I could put him in the pram and push around and go knocking on doors in my neighborhood and do facials for women. And I did pretty well, not having a driver's license, not having a car, and just working with people. But I soon found that what I was really doing was I liked talking to women. I liked hearing their stories, and I didn't realize I was an empath at the time, but they would download their stuff on me. You know, my husband, my children, my mother, my dog, and I'd be this incredible. It taught me listening skills. Yeah. And then they loved me listening to them, so they bought products from me. Yeah.
Well, that actually reminds me, I did Avon when my boys were little, and that was just really because I just wanted to get out the house. And I remember pushing them around, you know, no matter what the weather. Yeah. Dropping off the catalogs and then going back and banging on doors to see if they were home and talking to people and getting the orders and coming back and then taking them out. This is so much easier. But it was something I enjoyed.
I could never ever see Avon in the same context since I saw the movie Edward Scissorhands. that marketing brand is gone. I just see Edward Scissorhands.
That's not good.
Johnny Depp. Sometimes it's not good to put your brand in a strong movie brand like that because it changes things. Yeah. All right. So if you have just joined us, we're talking MLM, multi-level marketing, with Sue Coleman, who's our fabulous guest here today. We also ask if you're drawn to 1, 2, or 3 to put in the comments box which card you are drawn to this week. So at the end of the show, we're going to give you a little reading. And if you share the show, you're going to be entered, and please share it more than once, you'll be entered into a competition to win one of Sue's fabulous anti-aging with probiotic products for the skin. So that will be interesting, and we'd love to know what whoever wins it to tell us what you thought about the product too. Yeah. That would be really nice. Mm-hmm. So you've now come across color. So what I'd like to do is to offer you a little reading, and you decided that you wanted to find out what your soul colors are based on your date of birth. Mm-hmm. Okay, are you ready for this, Sue?
I don't know.
Okay, don't worry about anything.
Break the set.
No, you can't. My husband nails these shelves down like you can't believe.
Oh, that's
I
good.
said, darling, I don't want to be sitting here on the show and then the bottles come tumbling down. So between him and Michael, they've got it all set up.
It's fixed.
It's fixed.
Okay.
It's fixed. We need an earthquake.
Well, let's not have one of those.
Let's not have one of those. Okay. So the day you are born, Sue, is on the 23rd. And that bottle is indigo top and bottom. And then 2 plus 3 makes 5. So there's also this green that ties in with the day you are born. So these two colors and these two bottles and in the color mirror system tell me a little bit about, what it is that you've come to do in this world. What have you come to do in this lifetime? And what are your strengths? What are you really good at? And 23 and indigo, it's about intuition. And blues is also about communication and communicating what you can intuitively see. The 5 is about networking. It's about working especially with women and women's groups and bringing groups together. And together they talk about a leader that can communicate and that can motivate and that can hold a team together. So you at some point in your life, as you've just done now, you've stepped into that role. As an estate agent, a real estate agent, you would have been very individual. It's just you doing it, and with this new company, with the new aura that you're in, you build a team. Yeah. You're stepping into what you're actually meant to be doing, which is team leadership, and of course it includes selling. It includes communicating. Okay. So you're very well suited for MLMs. Yeah, because of those colors. How do you feel about those colors?
Well, it's interesting because it's the first time in my life where it feels right, that I'm in the right place.
Yes.
Doing the right thing.
Yes.
And it's interesting. That seems to be what my my purpose is. So.
Yeah, but it's a gift. It's a gift that you have that you can certainly do that. Yeah. And then when we add your day, your month, and your year up, you come to a 29. And 2 plus 9 gives us 11, which is kind of like a deep magenta, black and white, yin and yang kind of bottle. So you're wearing this turquoise on the show, and that's deep magenta. So it's that magenta sitting at the bottom there. So what do you feel about those two bottles?
There's a lot of energy, but also a lot of calmness.
And now that you also know, when at the beginning of the show, for those of you who don't know why this show is called the Magenta Show, I explained that to get the color magenta, you mix your material world and your spiritual world, and they make magenta. So they're a bridge. So you have come to this time also with that unique gift to be a bridge for others, and to show them how do you have both. How do you make your money and survive in the material world, but also how do you do it ethically, morally? So you would be attracted to a company that had to have very strong spiritual principles, that are genuine and real and authentic, because you wouldn't settle for less. Not with these two magentas in your soul colors. This is beginning to make sense why you're with this company.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So 29 is also about a spiritual Olympian athlete. So what happens is you're interested in spirituality. You would belong to a church or a spiritual group or an organization, and it's very important for you to have that community around you. So being spiritual and taking time out to connect with God is very important to you. And if you haven't done that, you need to devote time to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a regular churchgoer.
Yeah. You sing in a choir as well, don't you?
Yeah, I sing at St. Jude's.
You sing.
Yeah, we're just getting ready to go to Winchester Cathedral this year as the choir in residence.
Wonderful.
So we're going to be singing for a week there.
Yeah. So it's 29. This is somebody whose spirit is important to them. Yeah. Yeah. And then 11. 11 is a number that we talk about mastery. We talk about somebody who's going to master things. And the biggest thing to master with this kind of yin and yang, black and white, is to not have judgments, is to move beyond having judgments on life, especially judgments on ourselves, right? Because, we're always judging ourselves, right? That's the hardest judgment to let go of, is to not judge ourselves. But this is about understanding that if we are spiritual, then everybody must be spiritual. If we are of God, everybody must be of God. So we can't go, well, the people that are thieves are terrible and they're not of God, they belong to something else. That separation, we're coming to the end of playing those separation games. And that's really what that 11 says, is duality. It's everything standing next to each other in harmony. and seeing good and evil as both part of the lessons that God uses to or gives us on this planet to play. Night and day has equal value. Male and female has equal value. So 11 just says that in your lifetime you would probably, with all the traveling you've done and all the cultures and religions and systems you've seen, you've had to not go into judgment because you've realized that in the way they are, everything works, right?
Yes.
And it's not up to you to have a say that they could do it differently or better or other than.
It's just the way it is.
It is just the way. That's 11. It's just the way it is. Is this helping you?
It's interesting. It's kind of validating what you kind of feel in your gut.
Yeah.
Is the right place.
Yes.
And I have to say, I've been sort of like, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
And it appears that I am.
You're doing the right thing. You're on track right now with everything, Sue. What I like about 2911 is I'm a 2911. My birthday is a 29 and 11. So I always resonate with people who have those numbers because I understand some of the journey without us speaking, and there's just a connection because we understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So if you look at them all lined up like that, I'm just going to move it down just a little bit for you so you can see them. Which one is your favorite one?
Which is my favourite one? Probably the one with the turquoise, I would think. Is the one that I'm drawn to.
29.
I like this because it's like, cut and dried kind of thing, black and white. It's got a few little dots in it. But yeah, the one with the turquoise.
The 29.
Yeah, the 29.
Yeah. So we call it the spiritual Olympian athlete, somebody who, who, as I said, takes his spirituality seriously. But because if you look at it, at your business skills here and your team and communication and leadership skills here, that's what people will be drawn to you. Is they'll feel that spiritual connection with you, and that they will want to be part of your team. Yeah, but it also means you've got all the big boys on your side. I call them the big boys, the archangels, Jesus. I mean, they're all on your side, right?
Oh, good to have on your side.
They're on your side. So it's kind of like they are your silent marketing team. So consciously connect with that energy and with those beings, and they will help you in your business as well.
Great.
Okay. You like?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's a soul reading. That's how we do a soul reading. Okay. So please remember that if you are drawn to 1, 2, or 3, to pop it in the comments box. And the prize this week is going to be given by the fabulous Sue Coleman. And it is a...
Prolistic.
Yeah,
Prolistic body lotion.
Yeah.
This is amazing. It's a probiotic lotion, and people go, probiotics for skin? Well, we strip our biodome, the skin, of all the good bacteria, and this helps put it back, and it's great for anybody. Yeah. You can use it on little ones, big ones, any part of the body. It's perfect. It's really lovely.
I would imagine even now with summer hitting us, starting, well, we're hoping summer will come in soon, where you get a bit of skin burn, and that it'll be a really good product to use as well. Yeah, it's an awesome product. So to win that special gift from our guest, you need to share the show to be put into a draw. Please share it more than once, okay? So this show, if you have just joined, early on in the show, we spoke about MLMs, the positives and the negatives, and especially with people that are going to be laid off soon and that are losing work, MLM is an option. It's a good option, but you must move beyond the judgments of pyramid schemes. Please go back to the beginning of the show, watch it again, and you'll see the conversation that we've had here on the show today.
Yeah, it's a great side gig.
It's a great business. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're going to give our audience their reading. Okay. So you pick card number 1 for the audience. So those of you who pick number 1, you've got the guest's pick of the week if you were drawn to number 1. And it is Blue Angel. You are safe. All right. So for those of you who pick number 1, as this week evolves and there's certain periods of time during the week where you feel a little bit unsafe, a little bit insecure, please just know that there is a blue angel protecting you. I normally call him Michael, Archangel Michael. So Michael can kind of protect you. So if you feel a little bit vulnerable about things this week, for those who pick number 1, please know the angels are watching you, especially this blue angel. And it's also blue relates to the throat. So it's also about you're safe to speak and to say how you feel and what you want. Express your desires. Use your voice. So people don't talk a lot, when they just get angry and cross and go small and do that little thing, and it's so silly. It's like, say what you want, speak it out loud. My husband irritates me, I tell him. And he loves me for that. I said, darling, today you're annoying me. Whereas his husband number 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've practiced. So first husbands, if they annoyed me, I'd go, and I'd just get cross, and I'd close my voice, my throat would get sore, and I'd start coughing, and I'd start having flus and colds, and everything just gets bunged up because you're not saying what's going on. So this is a really good card for those. Number 1 is say how you feel in the moment. You are safe to speak up. Otherwise, like me, you'll end up on husband number 3.
I'm still on number 1, 45 years.
Show off. I had to practice. But congratulations, Sue.
He needs a medal.
Your Mountie. Yeah, we both moved from England with Canadians. Okay, those of you pick number 2. My pick. Oh, magenta. There we go. The time is now. Magenta. So literally what we were talking about, how the violet and the red makes magenta. I'm in a part of my stage of my business where I am going to have to demonstrate this live on stage soon. How do you not just do the red tactic, sell, and how do you just, instead of going, I'm the spiritual person, how do you bring the two worlds together, okay? And I'm going to have to walk my talk with magenta. So for those of you pick number 2, you're in the same boat as me. This is a week where you have to walk the talk. All right, you've got to bring your spiritual world, your material world together. And just on a side note, if you feel that you haven't got all the pieces to move forward, this is the week the answers are going to arrive. So if you've got any questions like me, I've got dozens of them floating in my head going how, what, where, when, why. The answers are going to arrive for us this week. I hope so. I've got a lot of questions. I hope God's listening to this recording.
I'm sure he is.
So number 2 is you with me. Let's look out for the answers to our prayers. And then if you've got number 3, you've got Michael, who produces pick of the week. It's green space, setting boundaries. I don't know what it is with this child. He keeps bringing green cards into my life. Michael, you know how I feel about green. And he's wearing a green shirt now. He's flashing it at me behind the scene there. So for those of you who pick number 3 along with Michael, if you love this card, I suggest you put some green hearts in and make up for me just moaning at him for picking a green card. Green is a in a traffic light, the when you get to a traffic light and red says stop and green says go. All right. Mm-hmm. So this is a week for those of you number 3. It's green for go. All right. Literally, if you've picked number 3 and you've been procrastinating or think on a decision, you're not sure about a choice you've made. It's green for go. If you've been waiting for someone to give you an answer, it's green for go. I've had 2 people ask me in the last couple of days. They said, well, they have properties that they want to sell, and they, financially, really, it needs to go now, right? It needs to move, and they picked green cards. And I said to them, this is your month you're going to sell, because green says the green light's there. There's nothing in the universe, in God's sphere, that is going to stop you. Everything is green for go. So for those of you number 3, you're going to have the green light, the yes, the Nike tick, everything's going to be good for you for this week. Okay, so watch out for your green light where you get given the yes. And that's color.
That's awesome. That's been amazing.
So for those of you who don't know, we were supposed to have had Dan on the show this morning, and his flight got cancelled late at night. He phoned me in a panic at the airport. I can't get on an aeroplane. We can't get transfer money. We can't buy another ticket. And I said, relax. Things always work out. You know, that's being a spiritual business, right? If you're in the red world, you'll be panicking. Having this violet coming and making us the Magenta show, we don't panic, and you've turned up.
Thank you.
So Teresa Cruz, thank you so much for suggesting that our fabulous Sue Coleman comes on the show. We've been able to have a conversation we've never had on the Magenta show, MLMs. Right. Yeah, and I thank you for being willing to talk about that. I really appreciate that, Sue.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Okay, cool. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week on the Magenta show, Mondays, 11 o'clock, Facebook TV.